Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Tracy Show. I am, of course, Tracy, and for the next 40, probably an hour, um, I will be here. And so I'm inviting everybody to just jump on. This is gonna be a packed show. Um, so just get ready. So I'll talk about the show, what we're going to talk about here in just a moment, but I've got to get some bills paid. First of all, subscribe. I am up to 145 subscribers. I have basically a couple of weeks to get up to 300. I may not make it, but I'm trying my best. Subscribing literally costs nothing. You can subscribe for free. Um, it doesn't cost anything. You'll get notifications about when I post videos or go live. So just remember to subscribe. You can support me on, although that address is not it, it's the shortened version of buymeacoffee.com/ Tracy Media LLC. Um, like us on Facebook. Or you can just go to Facebook and just type in Tracy Media space entertainment and my picture will come right up. I'm going to leave the last two um, announcements kind of, I'll wait a little bit to post those because I want to make a special announcement for that. So we've got a lot to talk about. First, well, it's not in any order, so I'm saying first, but last night's Republican Party debate. Wow. Um, Joe Manchin not running for re-election. Um, I'm probably not going to talk too much about the situation in Gaza because it is what it is. At this point, there's no Israel still isn't doing a ceasefire. I'm definitely going to talk about Representative Sheila Jackson Lee and what she got into the news for before her runoff in Houston to be the mayor. Oh, I can't wait to talk about that. I'm just like, lady, no, you didn't. And I'm going to talk about why I think it's time for the Democratic Party to pack it up and go home in terms of president. I mean, this is getting out of hand. So I said there was a couple of things that I wanted to special announce. I would love for you all to watch Tuesday's show. Tuesday we had a presidential discussion. It says debate, but we had a discussion with two candidates running for president. Not to brag or anything, but that was one of the best shows I have ever done. I mean, to be honest, I did that. I did that. I'm going to make sure I put it everywhere because that's one of the examples that I think if I was going to say, hey, watch the Tracy Show, she does this, although it was on a Tuesday, but still, Tuesday's show was epic. Go back, watch it, make some comments. Maybe I'm just pumping it up too much, but that Tuesday show, I telling you what, that's just I felt really good. I felt really nervous going into it, especially talking about foreign politics, which, to be honest, I don't know as much about as domestic issues. But the discussion was really well, really went well. The candidates were really engaging. Um, like I said, I'm leaving it up here this long because I really want you all to go back to it and watch it. It was just incredible. Um, Finally, I would love for people to fill out my top 10 events of 2023. That's the actual physical address. I might leave that up a little bit longer. Um, I'm planning on doing a New Year's Eve show, and I've decided to do the top 10 events of 2023. And so far, I have not received not any. I have received zero forms despite sending out reminders. So please remember that is the address right there. It's https, I think that's semicolon backslash backslash forms dot gle backslash 6FUZSSUGHP9CGPC29. If you're on my contact list, you'll be getting this, but please fill out this. I have been asking and asking and asking, and I still don't have anybody that's returned the form yet. And as always, if you have comments, just leave them in the box. And if you watch this later, definitely leave a comment and I'll try to respond to it. It's been a long day for me. Super long day. So when and it's been a long week because I've literally done 3 shows. I did one Tuesday with my channel having the presidential debate. I did one Wednesday for the RNC debate, and I'm doing one today. So next week I'm gonna take it easy and just do one show next week. But this has been, it's tiring to do a show I didn't do one every single day because thank goodness I didn't do one Monday, and I'm not doing one tomorrow. But it's a lot of work to do a show 3 days back to back to back like that. Oh goodness. I think the tiredness is like catching up to me. And I'll tell you, I just may take Saturday off and just like go to sleep for a while. No, I can't because I got to pick up some things. But it's been incredibly challenging to do 3 shows in a row, like I did this week, especially to kind of keep the topics interesting enough where people would want to watch. And I'm not going to say I won't do it again because I probably will, but oh my goodness, I had no clue that I would be this tired from doing a show like that, especially when you have like a full-time job. Then you have to get off work, get things set up, make sure you're doing everything right. Hey Parker, how you doing? You have to make sure everything goes exactly right. Not exactly right, but you got to set up, get your lights set up, get to jump on the link and da 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 da. But this has been a week. I'm so happy tomorrow is Friday. So happy. There will not be a show tomorrow. I'm telling you right now, there will not be. Ready for the weekend. This weekend is going to be busy. I just thought about it because I said, oh, I'm going to rest up Saturday. It's going to be a busy weekend. So, like I said, next week, I'm taking it real easy on myself. It'll be just one show next week. Just one. And we'll just go, no, 2, because I do the Saturday show. So it'll be the Thursday show, the Tracy show, and then I'll do the Saturday show. But I want to get to our topics. And as you can tell, I don't have an interview. And it probably is going to be a minute before I have one. And I'll kind of talk about my new format for 2024 coming up here at the end. But I want to talk about the Republican National, the RNC had a debate last night. Now, if you watch this channel, you notice that I brought myself on my phone and my laptop. I hit the end button and it just cut. I did not want to get back on. And I'll tell you what, that debate last night, I have never seen a group of people that prove that they are so bloodthirsty. This party that sits here and talks about the sanctity of life and how life is so important and it's precious and it should be guarded with care and 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 we should strive to make life better. Those five candidates were so bloodthirsty. It literally made my stomach turn. It was disgusting to sit there and just watch them. And I wish I could play clips, but again, I don't know how to do it where I share a clip and then I don't know how to share clips with using this platform yet. That's what I might try to learn this weekend because I would love to. There were so many low points. There was really no high point. Um, First, let me start with the moderators. I know that a news channel will always get the best of their anchors to host the event or to be the moderators. Okay, you expect that. Who told them to ask those dumb questions that they ask? Those questions were so idiotic. Hugh Hewitt, I think the guy with the gray hair, like the white guy, because there were two black people and the white guy, he literally asked, how many ships do we need we have like 300, China has like 380 ships and America only has like 312 ships. What's your plan to get more ships? And I'm like, really? Don't you want to like see what the budget is before you ask that question? Um, and speaking of some things that kind of stood out, the moderators and their dumb questions. Stop trying to chide the audience. You're gonna invite an audience and you're gonna sit here and tell them, what, stop, don't clap. You know they're gonna clap, you know they're gonna boo. You could just not have an audience. You could just not invite people to see it. Just have them like, I don't know, text their questions to a certain number. Um it was just a crap show. They are pro white life. Exactly. Especially, oh my gosh. There was we already have enough military ships. We could afford to get rid of a few, if anything, but they won't say that, Parker. The thing is, they have to keep up with China. Apparently, China is out here trying to get us, which we've been sitting here the whole time, but apparently China's out to get us, and China's gonna ensue war, and we have to stop China, Iran. How many how many times did they say Iran? I'm sorry, I didn't know Iran was out here doing stuff to us. Maybe I missed it. I'm just sitting here missing the whole thing. I'm like, Iran is doing stuff to us now? We got to have a war with Iran? Or did they say axis of evil? I can't go back and watch it because I just refuse to make my brain hurt. My brain literally hurt watching them. But did they say axis of evil or was that George W. Bush? Because they named North Korea, Iran, Russia, and China. Those are the four countries they named that are our enemies. None of the four countries have haven't bombed any U.S. military bases. None of them have done, especially China. And they just kept going on about China, China, China. I'm like, has China declared war against the United States? And I just like missed it. Like, did I miss something? Did I literally miss something? I must have, because they named China so much that it was just like, did they do something to us? that I'm just missing, because if China had bombed the United States, I'm pretty sure I would have heard about it. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost certain about it. Pretty sure I would have heard about it. They probably included Palestine in the axis of evil also. That's the other thing I want to complain about. When they kept bringing up anti-Semitism, which there is a rise in anti-Semitism. I don't want to say there isn't, there is. But where were they when the protesters in Charlottesville were chanting the Jews will replace us? I didn't hear any of them saying, oh, that's anti-Semitic. Now all of a sudden, any kind of criticism against Israel is anti-Semitic. Where were you at, Vivek Ramaswamy? Where were you at, Chris Christie? Where were you at, Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis, and Tim Scott? Where were you at? I mean, they were literally chanting, the Jews will not replace us. Anti-Semitic, clearly anti-Semitic. Where were you at? I would really love to know, where were you at? Also, they never brought up Islamophobia. Never. The moderators didn't bring it up. I was going to say the contestants. The panel didn't bring it up. It was just like they were just saying, no, Israel's right. They're always going to be right. Nothing that they do is wrong. We're going to support them no matter what. They're our ally. And I just can't. They were so bloodthirsty. They were so bloodthirsty. It was like they kept saying, we got to cut costs, but not with the military, because we got to expand the military. We got to make our military spending so much that it is just like expansive. We got to expand military spending, give more money to Israel, but cut social services here at home. They might as well just had said that. I just could not with how bloodthirsty that they seemed. It was just like they were just wanting, and they kept making these incorrect correlations between Palestine and Hamas and Hezbollah. Again, I don't know how Hezbollah got into this, but I don't know. How did Hezbollah get into it? But they just kept trying to connect all Palestinians to Hezbollah and Hamas. And I'm like, no, the children are not terrorists. The elderly are not terrorists. Yes, Hamas should be stopped. No, I'm not going to say they shouldn't. They absolutely should. But, and I'm looking at my phone because we're going to get into our next story here in just a moment. It just got on my nerves, and they just kept talking about anti-Semitism. It's real. Do not get it twisted. Anti-Semitism is on the rise, especially in the United States. It's on the rise worldwide. But they never talked about Islamophobia. Never, never, ever. It was just like, well, we'll just ignore it. It's not a real thing. They were fine people, though. Yeah, I guess Trump saying that. When both, Parker, both. I also had a real problem with Vivek Ramaswamy. He is so annoying. He tried to both sides it. Like when he said it was some question about how do you support Israel, blah blah blah. He tried to both sides it. He said, okay, we've gotten into this. I'm not gonna send Americans to wars just to profit the military industrial complex. I'm really paraphrasing here because he just annoys me so much I can't watch him talk. But then he said, okay, we're going to support Israel. We'll just let them do whatever it is they want. We won't say anything about it. Um, they'll just do it, and we'll just sit here and we'll just say anything. The most contentious battle is, oh, and Ron DeSantis, stop. I know you're in second place and everything, but get out the race. Matter of fact, all five of y'all just drop out. Just let Trump have the nomination. It's his. You're not even close. He's going to be the nominee. You all will not be. But I wanted to talk about in terms of the debate last night. There was a question about TikTok. And before I get to my opinion about why the snake is a snake, what did TikTok do to the Republican Party? Was TikTok out here doing stuff and I didn't know? I mean, I have a TikTok account. I've never used it because I don't know how to use TikTok. But I'm like, when did TikTok become the enemy? Like, it was like, oh, well, they're taking Americans' money. I mean, they're taking America's information. I'm like, well, so is Facebook. So is Twitter. So is Instagram. So is Threads. So is Pinterest. What app doesn't take information from the people using it? It sounded, and maybe I'm just taking this too far, but it kind of sounded a little racist to me because I know that TikTok is Chinese owned and Facebook is not, and Twitter, X. No, I'm going with Twitter. I'm not gonna call y'all X. Bump it, y'all Twitter. Those two are not Chinese owned companies, but you still have to give your information. You have to give them you still have to give them your information, right? I've been on Facebook for 12 years now. This show is actually live on Facebook, but I'm just like, well, did TikTok do something? Like, is TikTok out here like selling military secret? What? I didn't get it. So I'm gonna get to Parker's point here, and then I'll talk about Vivek the Snake. I don't use TikTok either. They're just using it as an excuse to fearmonger about China. China has got to be the most evil nation in the world, according to those five. I'm like, did they really do? They're not bothering us. We get like all of our export or imports from them. We don't make anything in America. Maybe if we did, but who cares? Okay, so there was a point where Vivek the Snake, and I'm going to just call him Vivek the Snake. That's his name now. Was saying, and I'm just kind of paraphrasing, he was saying, and he was directing this comment directly at Nikki Haley. He was saying, she criticized me for being on TikTok, but her own daughter is on TikTok. She needs to take care of her family. Oh, gosh. Dude. Look, I am not a Nikki Haley fan at all. Absolutely, positively not. You got to leave the children out of this. You cannot bring a candidate's children into the discussion. That was such a low blow. He could have made that point without saying, he didn't even have to say, he could have just said, I was criticized for getting onto TikTok, but that's how you reach young people. Okay. But he brought in the daughter. That was so low. I mean, I'm just like, dude, you do not bring people's children in it. I didn't like Nikki Haley's response. She said, keep my daughter's name out of your voice. What she probably wanted to say was, keep my daughter's name out of your bleep bleep mouth. It's probably what she wanted to say. But of course, if she had actually said that instead of what she said, she'd have got even more points. Because I could tell she was really, she's like, you're scum. Let that have been me. Let me break this down for the 5 Ramaswamy fans out there watching. You come after my kids, or my children, because kids are goats. You come after my children, we get ready to scrap. Period. Point blank. I don't care. I'll drop out the race. I will drop out. You will not put my child's name in your mouth in a disparaging way. You will not. She didn't put his children in her mouth in a disparaging way. Why did he think that was such a good thing? Like he sat there and just said, yeah, you need to take care of your own family. Dude, again, I'm not a Nikki Haley fan. Not. But for that little 5 minutes right there, I'm like, dude, you went to a new low. You brought in an innocent, and I don't know how old Nikki Haley's daughter is. It's one thing to criticize the Trump children because they're actively involved in their father's administration. He appointed Ivanka, his favorite, to a post. He's actively, they're actively involved in his buffoonery. So you could criticize them, but I don't even know Nikki Haley. I knew she had children, but I didn't know. Now I'm going to be like, well, what was Nikki Haley's daughter's name? How old is she? I shouldn't even have to know that. I shouldn't even know about your children. The fact that you have them, okay, that's fine. But he just went too low. Nikki said, keep my daughter out of your voice. LOL. She meant to say, keep her name out of her mouth. Nikki Haley's daughter is 25. I just looked it up, but I don't care if she's 75. You keep my daughter's name out your mouth. She wasn't in the campaign. She didn't get a seat appointed. Nikki Haley didn't appoint her to a seat. It was a low blow. I mean, it was low. It was just like, oh my gosh, dude. He knows, and here's another thing I want to discuss. He and everybody on that stage knows that Trump is going to be the nominee. So I'm trying to figure out why it is that they keep running. I think that Christie is the only one that thinks that he can win. He's not. But if you look at, and I'll talk about their college funding thing that just made me want to throw up. But why are they running? Trump is going to win the nomination. It's either they want a cabinet position or they want to be vice president. It's one or the other. I can't figure out. Or you got the fake who probably wants to be rich and fake. Well, he's already rich. He probably wants to be on Fox as a commentator, run around and oh gosh, all 5 of y'all should just drop out of the race. Hey, Stanley! Haley's other daughter is 17, a minor. Now, if he was talking about the 17-year-old, oh, he real trash. He real trash if he's talking about the 17-year-old. I say, and you should take care of your family. You should keep my child's name out of your mouth. That's what you should do. Oh my goodness. Let me calm down because that's not even my child. That's not even my child. I'm sitting here getting mad. Let me breathe again. So, again, another reminder, go to this website to fill out my to fill out the top 10 events of 2023 for my New Year's Eve show. So far, I have gotten 0 responses, but I know I have been sending out emails after emails after emails, but now I'm going to put it on here. So please go to fill that out because I need 10 topics for my top 10 of 23 show. And here's another thing I want to talk about the debate before I move on to the next topic. There was a portion in the program, or the clown show, as I like to call it, that I don't know if it was Kristen Welker. I know it wasn't the white guy. I know it wasn't the white guy. It was either Kristen Welker or Lester Holt asked about the student protests about Palestine and how we're like I'm a college student, how the students are calling for a ceasefire. And somehow, I don't know how this happened, but there was a question from, and I forget the gentleman's name, but apparently he was Jewish, and he was a huge supporter of the Republican Party, which one, I didn't even think that existed. I mean, I know Jews exist, but I know 3 Jewish people and none of them are Republican, but okay, I guess. So he asked a question, essentially, he had 2 questions, but essentially one of his questions was, what do you do with universities that are supporting Hamas or something? I'm paraphrasing it because, again, I'm not going to go back and watch that. Not going to. First of all, I did not know that there were any college campuses that would support pro-Hamas talking points. I didn't know that if you spoke against what Israel is doing, somehow you were anti-Semitic. Again, they brought up the rise of anti-Semitism, which again, it is on the rise. It is, there's no doubt about it. It's a fact. But their answers were cringy. Tim Scott, who I keep wondering, why is he in the race? What is he doing in the race? Who is giving him money? Who are his supporters? It's got to be his mother and his girlfriend. And yes, I'm definitely gonna talk about that in a second. He said that he would deport anyone exhibiting anti-Semitic behavior. But according to them, if you speak against what Israel is doing, I might as well be expelled. Don't know what country since I'm an American. Yes, Stanley. Yes. I'm going to talk about it and how we should not do it. I mean, how we should be focused on other things, but yes, I'm going to talk about it. I mean, if anything, any criticism of Israel is anti-Semitic, then they're going to be deporting millions of Americans. Millions of Americans. Then you had Ron DeSantis talking about, when we had a pro Hamas group and we cut their funding, which again, I believe nothing that comes out of that man's mouth. Nothing that comes out of that man's mouth. And then it got into China again. China was the word of the day in last night's debate. China, 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 China. Or, as Trump says, China. We had to stop them from buying land. Okay. But the question, um, was about stopping universities. And so they all basically had the same answer, except for Ramaswamy. This is the only question where he made any type of sense. And I was like, I can't believe somebody said it. He said that taking these adverse actions against people that speak out against what Israel is doing and framing them as anti-Semitic would lead to other things. Again, I'm paraphrasing, but I'm like, he said a halfway decent answer. Now, of course, it came crashing down when he opened his mouth the next minute, but for that 2 to 3 minutes, like what he actually said was actually making sense. Now I see another person on here. If you want to ring in too and say hello to you and thank you for joining. But it was a war show. I have never seen a group of people that just wanted blood. Just wanted blood. So we're gonna... Yes, I have to talk about this. I'm going to get my phone out because I want to read this. And I'm getting this off my phone because, again, someday I'm going to figure out how to share 2 screens at once. So I'm going to, yes, Stanley, Tim Scott has a girlfriend. And I see how you got girlfriend in parentheses. Ha ha. She was there. And we're going to talk about who she is and why this really shouldn't matter, but it does. I'm just going to read the article. Tim Scott appears with, and I'm getting this from the Washington Post. Tim Scott appears with girlfriend at GOP debate ending mystery over her identity. Senator Tim Scott spoke longer than any other candidate on the debate stage. He didn't help him here Wednesday night. I think it was in Miami. But nothing the South Carolina Republican said garnered as much attention online as once the event ended. Shortly after the president candidate had finished their long remarks, Scott walked over to the edge of the stage, greeted a blonde woman in a light gray suit. He escorted her on the stage and held her close as they smiled together and posed for photos. At the same time, other candidates appeared with their families. Reporters and audience members were quick to notice the pair held hands at one point. Who could this be? They wondered. And yes, I'm going to read the whole thing. The campaign quickly confirmed that she was indeed the girlfriend he had previously hinted at, but never before publicly revealed, giving reporters just a first name, Mindy. Soon, online sleuths tracked down her social media pages and details about her life. Her name is Mindy. I can't pronounce this child's last name, so I'm just going to spell it. Noce. According to public records and online information, she is a design and renovation manager in the real estate company in Charleston, South Carolina area, and mother of 3. The campaign confirmed she is Tim Scott's girlfriend, but did not share more details. So there it is, everybody. Tim Scott's girlfriend made her appearance. So we can all stop with the Tim Scott is gay. We don't have to do that no more. He's got a girlfriend. Shouldn't matter whether he did or didn't. But this is how silly the American people can get sometimes. And I'm going to say silly because does it really matter if a candidate is married or not, or dating or not? You're just running for office. It's not like a family contest or something. Okay, so we addressed the elephant in the room. So DeSantis has not gotten above 18% in any single polls over the past 2 months, pretty sure. DeSantis' mouth is 3 inches high. Most polls have given him 13 to 15%, though. LOL Stanley DeSantis has a large mouth. A mouth supported by 3-inch go-go boots. I'm not going to talk about Nikki Haley's stupid, you shouldn't wear heels if you can't run in them. That literally made no sense to me. She's rented. Okay, let's just keep going. These boots are inside. The boots are inside his mouth so he can hide the fact that he's making him. The boots are inside his mouth so he can hide the fact that it is making him that's making him have a larger mouth. Mindy is her name. They met through church. Mindy knows. Stanley, you're saying it matters. I literally, it does not matter. If you are gay, pretending not to be gay is truly a problem of trust. That's a good point. I'll agree with that. But the fact that Gavin Newsom used to be married to Kimberly Guilfoyle, who is now the wife of Donald Trump Jr. No, they are engaged. How do I know this mess? I should not even know this. So we're going to just move on to our next story. And then I'm going to skip the Jill Stein story because I'm going to save that for my Saturday show. Because I'm thinking, okay, you basically got in a race because Cornell dropped out of the Green Party. And I'm not sure if the Green Party is really serious about winning at this point, considering their convention is not until next August. Because how serious can you be if you are running a race and trying to be president in August when you need to be doing things now? But that's okay. So Joe Manchin will not be running for Senate. Yes, this is good news, but it may not be. It's good news. It's good news, and I'll tell you why. One, the Democrats won't have somebody to blame when their false plans go awry. They were never for them, and they used Manchin to blame. Now, Manchin is a terrible senator. I don't live in West Virginia, so thank goodness I never had to vote for him. But he's a terrible senator. I'm glad he's not going to be seeking re-election, but I wonder why. And there's two trains of thoughts I have. One, he's probably going to run with the No Labels Party. Now, if you know who the No Labels Party is, or you don't know, I'll tell you. So these are a group of middle America. Middle America. They say they represent middle America. I don't know a person. I have never met a regular person that knows who the No Labels Party is. They get 100% of their money from corporate interests. They're for big oil. They're for expanded military. They just are. Go look at their party website and see what their platform is. Their idea is to get a sellout Democrat, Joe Manchin, and a sellout Republican to run under their party. I think that's his next play. The second reason that I think he dropped out is because he's performing so badly. He is not doing well in his race against the Republican candidate who is now the governor of West Virginia. And I know I should know his name, but I don't. I don't understand. I think that, like I said, this exposes the Democratic Party because they can't use um, they can't use him to say, well, it's his fault. Now you're going to be held accountable for the things that you never wanted, and now you're either going to have to vote them up or vote them down. Who else are you going to use as an excuse? Who's going to be the new villain? You're going to have Kirsten Sinema, but she's probably going to lose her Senate seat because nobody likes her. Nobody likes her at all. I mean, it's just sad. Too bad Guilford and Newsom couldn't have been the new Gomez and Morticia. I'm not getting that one. And Kirsten Sinema is nearly 100% chance to lose in Arizona running as an independent. She is getting beat so bad. She's getting beat by Carrie Lake. Carrie Lake. Carrie Lake. Carrie Lake, the Trump supported candidate who in her governor's race said that mules, like, and the donkey family were carrying ballots. That Carrie Lake. That seat's probably going to go to the Democratic. She only wanted to be a one-term senator. I don't know if Fetterman's turning into the new Sinema. That's another thing I'm going to talk about Saturday. Because he's done some stuff. I'm like, The next person up will be the villain for the next person up who will be the villain for the Democratic Party for the Senate after the 2024 election, assuming he wins, will be John Tester. Oh gosh, this guy irks my whole stomach. He irks my stomach. He's a moderate. He's a Republican. No, Manchin was really a Republican who had black friends. They are hard to come by in West Virginia, but I'm guessing he met one in D.C. No, there are actually black people that actually live in West Virginia. Yeah, I know. I was shocked too. I'm like, huh? Equals Manchin the Democrat. Jim Justice is the current governor of West Virginia, thank you, Parker, and will almost certainly win the Senate seat next year to take Manchin's place. You know the Democrats are going to basically give up on the seat, but I really think that Manchin is going to run under this no labels party. And when he loses, because he will, I'm going to laugh so hard. I'm going to laugh so. It's going to just bring me joy to see him get beat. It's going to make me happy, right? Because we're voting against him should make everybody come out to vote, right? Because look at some of the stuff he says against the child tax credit, because people might use it to buy drugs. Okay, you have proof of that. How? Against I said the child tax credit, against expanding Social Security, against this guy. When he loses, it gonna bring me some joy. Some joy. Adams Family Mortician. Oh, thank you. George Washington Carver and Henry Louis Gates are from West Virginia. So is Steve Harvey. Ha ha ha. You learned something today. But that's what I think his next move is. He's definitely going to run under the no labels party. He's been at their conventions. Again, I've never met a common person that has given a dime to the No Labels Party. I've never seen it. I've never met this person. I don't know who they are. I don't know where they live. I just know that No Party's label is supported by corporate donors. And that's where their money is coming from. And how are they? I mean, they're basically going to end up buying signatures because they're not a major party. They have to get signatures. They have what 100? Let me see how much money they have because they have a lot of money. Let's see. Let me tell you how much they raised. How much has the No Party raised? Okay. Okay. I'm trying to get how much they raised. They reviewed because I thought it was like in 100 million mark. Um, I know they. I know they raised quite a bit. Okay, its strategies a da 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 da. Funding, focus, leadership, focus. Okay, shut up. I'm trying to get to this group. Okay. Okay, so this is their money in July. This past July, they had raised $70 million. They not getting $70 million from most people. This is obviously coming from corporations. Obviously. John Tester might lose Montana next year, though. If he does, the Dems will lose the Senate overall. Yes, that's actually what I expect to happen. And Sherrod Brown in Ohio is up next year. He is another one that Dems cannot afford to lose. I de- I do too, because Americans they be liking a split. They do. They'll want like if the president is Republican, they'll vote for the Senate might be Republican, but the House won't be. It's like they like that split. Outside West Virginia, Manchin is insequential. He's really not. I lived in North Virginia in Norfolk for almost about 20 years. So I'm familiar with West Virginia, worked in Martinsville, West Virginia a year or two. Okay, yeah. I got to talk about Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. I got to. I got to. So if you all are not familiar, Sheila Jackson Lee, or Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, is now in a runoff for the mayor of Texas. Um, and she and the other Democrat, they did neither one of them got 50%, so now they're going to go to a runoff. Well, Sheila isn't, or Congressman, I'm going to be respectful. Congressman Lee, or Congressman Jackson Lee, I'll just call her Congressman Lee, is not the nicest of employees. If you haven't heard the tape or the conversation, she apparently was reprimanding a staffer of hers that didn't give her documents that she wanted in a timely manner. Problem with what Sheila Jackson Lee did was she decided to cuss them clean out. She said yes, I've heard people cuss. Okay, yes. Never a congressperson. When you're in Congress, I think I expect you not to be turning into Attila the Hun. This isn't an episode of Harlem Nights. You can't just be cussing at your employees. And apparently, this isn't the first time she's done it. She said he was an incompetent MF. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, I can't, of course, I can't play it. I can't play it because, one, I don't allow cursing on my channel. But I guarantee she wouldn't have done that to a white staffer. I don't think she would, because she knows there would have been a consequence to pay. She would not have done that to a white staffer. Maybe she would, and I just don't know her that well. But she literally dressed that man down. And personally, I'm glad that he recorded it. I hope he sues her for not harassment. Oh, what am I talking about when an employee can sue an employer for, like, doing stuff like she did? No, Sheila Jackson Lee is in Texas because she's running for mayor of Houston. I have several problems with her. I'm on the commission for reparations. No, let's do a study. He can not sue probably. If you heard the tape, I wish I could find that conversation. Like I said, I will not play it on this channel. Obviously, I can't because, again, she then she jumped on another staffer that wasn't even was not in the room. His name was Jerome. I kept wondering, well, what did Jerome do? Literally, this was documents not being delivered. She could have simply said, hey, I needed those documents and I can't take it when staff do not perform as I said. Okay, perfectly fine. But she called him a fat bleepity bleep 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 piece of bleep. I mean, if you listen to it, I'm being kind. I can't even rattle off. I mean, it was one right behind the other. It was terrible. I'm like, girl, sit down. Okay, so you heard the tape. Okay, I did too. And I was like, it is strange someone like her at 73 years old, having been a congresswoman for a long time, would want to run for mayor in Houston. They want to get rid of her. Look at what they did to Karen Bass. I mean, if you think about it, they're not going to tell Matt Gaetz, hey, run for mayor of Tampa or whatever city it is he represents. Nope, 73 years old, peed off incompetent young folks. But there's a way to say, hey, you're not performing the duties that I've, have set out. She had to go all Amy Klobuchar up there talking about, you a fat piece of bleep bleep. You're fat. She had to do that. You can say, if you have a staff and they're not performing what you want, one, you got two choices. You could either fire them, you could do coaching, you could reprimand them, but you don't have to cuss them out. She cussed them out. I mean, come on. I guess it's not surprising considering Karen Bass was a congresswoman and then became mayor of Los Angeles. Black women being honest. My mother is in her 80s and can be honest. Again, there's a difference when you're in a professional setting. I don't care what race she is. Now I'm going to just throw race out the window. She ain't had to do that. She could have said, you didn't perform the levels, I'm going to dock your pay. or I'm going to suspend you, or I'm going to fire you. She didn't have to. And then she put Jerome in it. What did Jerome do? He's not even in the room. She called him fat. Okay, maybe he's a little bit overweight. But did she have to do that? Did she have to? It made me laugh. It didn't mean because I was getting mad. I was like, sir, if you don't sue this woman, I'm going to be real mad. It made me laugh here and tape. Maybe black kids need more of this talk. Nah. Stanley, we're going to disagree on this one. Nah, she ain't had to do that. Amy Klobuchar didn't have to throw that stapler at her. Now, that's assault. Right there, now, that's straight up assault. Those staplers are heavy. Why do people think that, and Stanley, you can answer this. Why do people, fat is more efficient than overweight? She could have said, hey, and it's not like she's skinny. Has she looked at herself? She ain't look at herself. She don't know. She clean cussed him out, and that was totally unnecessary. You can say you're dissatisfied with your staffer, but you don't have to throw in you're a fat piece of fit. That's as close as I'm going to get to saying what she actually said. I was just like, I can't. Of course, you know I wasn't going to play it on this channel, any of my channels. No. Because that's not going to work. But I have a sense of humor, but not in the workplace. The workplace is for work. Now, if they were hanging out and when she went to that nightclub, like, girl, what you doing in a nightclub? But okay, whatever. She's probably not going to win Mayor of Houston. I doubt it. She'll probably keep her job in Congress. People come out and vote for her. Nothing will change. Her and Amy can meet up and start talking about how they berate their staff. Like, dang. Like, y'all really had to do that. Really? But I do have a sense of humor. It's just twisted, but yeah, you're right about that. They only work 6 months a year. That's got to be a great job. You go in, you're broke, and you come out, you're a millionaire. That's got to be the greatest job ever, is to be a United States congressperson. Because you literally go in with no money. You get $74,000 a year. You work 5 months out of the year. You get weeks of vacation. You get to go any place you want to. Some group is always wanting to buy your favor. It's gotta be great. Oh goodness. I did not realize I was talking so long. It is 8 o'clock. I want to thank everybody for joining me for this show today. We've had such show. Remember to like this video, share this video, comment on this video if you watch it later, and remember, I'm trying to find the link here. Fill out this form ASAP because I'm putting together the New Year's Eve show. It'll be December the 31st at 11:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can download it at https://backslash/forms.GLE/6FUZSUGHP9CGPC29. So remember to fill out that form. I'll be putting it up. Remember, next week, it will only be one show. Hopefully, I'll have an interview. I'm working on something, but if not, I'll be talking about more events, and hopefully I won't be having to talk about Sheila Jackson Lee cursing people. Thank you all for joining me. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.